Right, so this is the second problem on the lesson. The main cables of a suspension bridge are 50 feet above the road. At towers and 10 feet above the road at the center. The bridge is 200 feet long. Vertical cables are placed every 20 feet. The main cables hang in the shape of a parabola. Okay, so then if it hangs, this is saying 50 feet above the road. So this is the road, which means the y value is going to be 50, and the x value, this is where the bridge begins. So it has to be 0, comma 50. Okay, and at this point, don't forget this is saying that it's 200 feet long. So then this is 200 feet. And then for this one here, this is 200 for x, and for y is 50 feet, because again, it's 50 feet above the road. Then what else? Since this is 200, it should make sense that this is halfway between 0 and 200, which is 100, right? So this is 100. So this is 110 feet will be the y value. So notice, we're being given that information here, okay? So then what this is asking us again for part B is describe a reasonable domain and range using interval notation. And I hope you agree with me, but that a reasonable domain is from 0 to, let's say I'd go a little bit over 200, so 220 feet. And then the range from 0 to this goes to 50, so let's make it 60. So that would be a reasonable domain and range, okay? Then write an equation that relates the height of the cables to the length of the bridge. So then we know the vertex point is this point here. And again, this is not drawn to scale, okay? So this is H and this is K, and I'm going to choose this point, but I could also choose that point. So I'm going to choose 0, 50, and then I use the vertex form quadratic to substitute for for x, y, h, and k, okay? So this is the vertex form quadratic. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to substitute for h, k, and x and y. So there I've substituted for x, y, h, and k, and then simplify. So we're at this step now, and then take the square of negative 100. So this is 10,000, which is negative 100 squared. Then simplify. So then we subtract 10, so that gives us 50 minus 10 is 40. Then let's divide by 10,000. Okay, you can do this with a calculator because it'll simplify it for you. Or you can do it by hand, however you prefer to do this. So then that means A is equal to 1 over 250. Okay, so then the equation for this parabola is y equals, notice this opens up and A is positive, so that should also only make sense. There's a negative here, so 1 over 250, that's the A value. H is 100, so x minus 100 square plus k is 10. So this is the equation for that parabola, okay? Next question is the vertex max or min? Well, this one is a min, right, because it's positive. So I'm just going to circle that it's a minimum. How high is the third cable? Now, don't forget, each cable are placed 20 feet away, right, from each other. So then the third cable should be, first cable is 20, second is 40, the third cable is 60. So then that means when x is equal to 60, okay, what is the y value? Or how high is the cable? So then I'm going to go to this equation here. And let me just give you a sketch in case you don't see it yet. So this is 0, this is 20, this is 40, this is 60, this is 80. We can do more. I'll stop there for now. Okay, so we're interested, what happens here? Okay, at 60 feet, what's the height? So then I'm going to go to y equals, clear that function, and enter the new one, which is this one here. So let's see. So I've entered the function. Then I'm interested in finding the value. So I'm going to press second trace and then value, which is 1. Press enter. And let's see. I need to change the window settings for this one. I hope you can see why. Okay, so I'm going to go to window. And I'm going to use this domain that I have. So the minimum for x is 0. The maximum is 220. And then the minimum for y is 0, and the maximum is 60. And let's graph this again. and it says window range. So you're gonna have to play with the calculator with this. Okay, so I'm gonna mess around with this. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll come back. Okay, so that's where I messed up. The minimum, see, I have that, the scale for X, I'm gonna make it 1 and I change that to a 0. So this should be 0 for Y and 60 for the max. 0 for the minimum and 60 for the max. Now let's graph it and you should be able to see it. And there it is, okay? So now let's press second trace. And we want the value, and so press enter. So we're interested where X is 60, right? So we're trying to find what's the Y value where X is 60. So I'm gonna enter 60, press enter, and it gives me 82 over 5. Okay, so I know this is 82 over 5, but the question is how many feet is this? So I'm just gonna do 82 divided by 5, and it gives me 16.4. So the answer is 16.4 feet. Okay, that's how high the cable is. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the classroom. Bye-bye.